All right, today's video is going to be on a trade proposal the Detroit Lions should make. Now, the Detroit Pistons would get OG Anunoby, and the Toronto Raptors would get Marvin Bagley III and 2 second-round draft picks in the future. Now, the reason why the Detroit Pistons should do this trade, well, OG Anunoby has 2 years left on his contract, and in those 2 years could help Oscar Thompson develop the right way and really work on his shot, really develop from year 1 to year 2, and then year 2 into a starting role. Now, the reason why the Toronto Raptors should do this trade, although the Detroit Pistons would open up the logjam at the big man position, the Toronto Raptors are in a dire need of a big man. And with Isaiah Livers still on the roster, Detroit now opens up Livers at the power forward position next to James Wiseman on the second unit, while Toronto adds that much needed big man help. I absolutely would consider something like this. Now, I don't like giving up multiple first-round draft picks just because of the sheer fact of, well, hey, how am I supposed to replenish players without a first-round draft pick? Because that's really where Troy Weaver has really made a staple on this Detroit Pistons team. Is he hits that home run in that first round, and then he takes his chances in that second round. So without a first round, can Troy Weaver hit that home run in the second round? We have yet to see it. He's only picked one player that's still on the roster in his time here, which is Isaiah Livers. This move would open up his second round draft pick in Isaiah Livers. So that's kind of where I'm like, well, I'm 50-50, but the totality of it, I would absolutely do it. I mean, yeah, Marvin Bagley is solid, but we have a logjam at the power forward center position. So how can we open up some roster space for some of these younger guys to actually get more minutes while still being able to situate our roster the way it needs to be? And OG would come in. I believe he won the NBA championship with the Toronto Raptors that year that Kawhi Leonard was there. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really remember their roster back then. But if you know, definitely leave it in the comment section below, because I don't want to give you false information. So definitely correct me in the comment section if OG was there for that championship run. But he's known how to win. I mean, the Toronto Raptors are in the playoffs. The Toronto Raptors, are at least a playoff team, at least a play-in team. So he could bring some of that veteran leadership, and if he did win the NBA championship, bring that championship caliber to the Detroit Pistons as we trying to gear up to really try to make a run for this thing. And, Toronto, they're going into kind of a different direction. They did fire Nick Nurse. They did, kind of revamped a few things. And they're going to have to shake up a little bit of their roster. So if they're going to try and compete in the East. And with that said, what a perfect trade partner than the Detroit Pistons. Now, they would get multiple firsts, like I said, and Marvin Bagley. We would just get OG Anunoby, maybe some pick swaps or something like that if they want to add that in. But the baseline of it would be surrounded around that. Or maybe they go a different route, and maybe it's not Marvin Bagley, maybe it's Bojan. And there's your multiple first-round draft picks. It'll be Bojan for OG. But in this case, just to kind of be like, well, they need big men, we need to get rid of some big men, this would be almost like a perfect trade for us. And, yeah, I don't want to stunt Oscar Thompson's growth, but I think he can learn a lot from an OG Anunoby in the 2 years that he has left on his contract, and then he becomes our clear-cut starter with Cade, with Jaden, with Jalen, and things of that nature. This would do him some well. And, you know, if you go small ball lineup, I mean, shoot, you could go OG and Osser, you know, as your 3-4 and then Duran as your center. You know, you could do multiple different things. So it kind of adds more dimension to the Detroit Pistons. But let me know your thoughts. Definitely want to know your thoughts. Am I stretching a little bit, or am I kind of getting it down to where, hey, look, that's actually a pretty good trade idea? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And with that being said, go Pistons. Yes, sir. Peace. Hey, y'all already know what to do. We are trying to grow this community. And we are trying to hit 300 subscribers. And with that being said, see you in the next video. Go Pistons. Hey, go get it, OG Anunoby. I would definitely do that in a heartbeat.